Check a Pro Joe here on the Check a Pro radio show. So it's time to replace your air conditioning unit. And the question is how long does it take to do it? 2 hours or 2 days or somewhere in between? Brandon Day is joining me from Daycool Heating and Air to answer that question. Hey, Brandon.
Nay.
All right.
The easiest answer to that question is for normal, what we call a change out in the industry, half a day, depending on what's being done. It could take, if it's just a little outside unit, 2-3 hours. If it's whole system inside out, 4 to 6 hours. In an attic takes longer. You're slower coming through the home. If you're doing duct and such, that usually takes a day or two. Because you got a demo and working in an existing home, it's hard to keep everybody's valuables, and you work slower because you're trying not to damage anything throughout the home. So it doesn't take that long. I mean, we do 2 or 3 change outs a day.
Yeah. If everything is relatively common and normal, it shouldn't take that long. Easier to take it out. The old one, putting in the new one may take a little while longer, but you guys have been doing this for a very long time. It becomes routine for you and your crew, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have processes and systems. It's putting a box in a box. A box, a square box, and square hole. We have where we try to excel is in the customer service. To be better than anybody is leaving somewhere cleaner than when we got there, or the process of during the change out, the communication to the customer, stuff like that. Because it's kind of can be intruding in people's private homes, trying to do that and do it efficiently, do it right, make sure everybody's happy.
I agree. The last time I had a complete change out, 2 units, a 3-ton and a 5-ton, upstairs, downstairs. We did it in November, which I think was a good time of year, because when you do it in July and August or September, that's a real tough time of year in your neck of the woods, my friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I would recommend to people to do it in what I call the off season, like the winter, because you can pretty much get by without heating and air conditioning longer than you can do without having air conditioning in the summertime. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, being in the air conditioning business, I don't want you to wait. Secondly, but no, it does. That is good for us, but it never works out that way. Anybody we see is hot and they want it cold quick. And the humidity here, you can lick the air in Mobile, Alabama. It's sticky all the time. So imagine that in an enclosed house with no air movement. So, I would like it would in optimal. Yeah, it would be great to wait till November. Then, we're still gonna have a lot of hot people in July and April.
Yeah. And people do react to things instead of planning for things. Same thing with building a swimming pool. People get the idea on May 15th. Well, if they had thought about it in September, they could have had it built over the winter time and they'd be ready for the spring and summer. And so the point of that is make sure your systems are maintained. Make sure you think ahead. You don't want any surprises. Brandon, as always, thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
Thank you for having me.